Hi there. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make a recreation of Flappy Bird in Pico-8. But recreation of Flappy Bird is a little bit boring, it's a little bit lame, everyone does that. This game is a little bit different because instead of controlling the bird, you need to control the pipes. It's also a pretty interesting game, pretty easy to recreate. It also teaches a lot of gaming fundamentals like game loops, game states, conditionals, and the collision also. And it's a pretty interesting tutorial. I'm for sure you have a lot of fun in it. And it's also a really tricky game. Let me show it to you. So you control the pipes and it's also pretty much hard. It's probably harder than Flappy Birds, the original. Look. Let me see if I can have at least 1 point. Let me try again. Oh my god, at least 1 point! Yes, finally! So that's it. That's basically the game you're going to recreate in today's tutorial. So we're gonna start by recreating the assets, and I have them in here. So it's basically a Flappy Bird and a cloud, pretty easy to do. You can recreate them either on or import it from the itch.io link I leave in the description. It's interesting that I made the background in the color pink, which you're gonna use it to make the transparency of the sprite. Also, there's a sound effect like this for when the bird hits the pipe, and also another one for when the bird crosses the pipe. And that's basically it for assets for this game. So we're gonna start with the function draw, and we're gonna draw big rectangles, a blue rectangle for be the sky background, and also a smaller rectangle underneath it to be the grass. So we're gonna start with the function draw. We can finish the function here. And we're gonna use the function rect fill, with the positions of 0 and 0, and the size of 127 by 120, and the color 12, which is this color in the sprite sheet. Sorry, this color in the sprite sheet, the blue one. So for example, if you run our game, we have the sky already. So we're gonna do the same thing for the grass with a similar function like this. Starting from the position 121 in the y-axis. So now that's it. We have the sky and the grass underneath it. Now we're gonna write the function palt 14 true. So this basically makes the color 14, which is the pink color, transparent. So if we draw in our birds with the function SSPR, the age 0, 16, 16, the position 0, 0, we have the bird drawn. But for example, you can notice that the black contour is transparent because we need to write false, 0, false. So this turns the color black not transparent. So if we replay, we have the birds printed out. This is really interesting. I like it a lot. So that's it. Let's continue with now declaring the struct of the bird and the struct of the pipe. So basically, you're gonna start with the structure of the bird. So type in bird equals, and then the x is 20. This never changes. The bird is always at the 20 axis. His position in y, which is 64. And we also gonna need to declare its width and its height for the collision to work. So his width is 16 pixels. And his height is also 16 pixels. That's it. So for example, if we write in here the SSPR function, birds, oops, sorry, this is the size of the sprites is in here, I need to change. So birds.x and birds.y. Then you have the birds at the correct position. So we can also start by making the bird's movements. So we're gonna start with the function update, like this, function update, and also finish the function. And basically what we're going to do is that the bird is always decreasing in height, right? So we type in like this, bird.y increments its value by 1. So for every frame in our game, the bird's height will be decreasing like this, okay? But we need to add the random height increase. So we need to type in like this. Local x equals floor random 3. So this takes a random number between 0 and 3, and if this number is equal to 2, then the bird.y decreases in 3. So the birds have these random movements for up and for down, like this. It's based in luck. So yes, it can happen. The bird can go out of the screen for the bottom or for the top. I think it will eventually go away. Let me see. Or not. It's pretty interesting to watch, man. So that's basically it. It's really interesting. So let me see. Now we can start controlling the pipes of our game. So we can come in here and declare the struct of the pipe 1 at the x of 127, which is the limits of the right position, at y equals 0. I forgot the comma in here. The y equals 0, the width of 20. I also forgot the comma. The width of 20 and the height of 0. So we're gonna do similarly to the pipe number 2, but there's a detail, because the pipe number 2 height is based on the pipe number 1 height. Because if the pipe number 1 decreases in height, the pipe number 2 also needs to decrease accordingly. So to make this movement, right? So you type in pipe 2 equals, and x equals 127, and so now pipe 2 y equals to pipe number 1 dot y plus 36, and then its width is 20 also, and its height is also the same, pipe 1 dot y plus 36. We need to put the commas. I always forget these commas. And in here. So we can also draw the pipes with the function rectfill. Let me check in here, 1 second. So we can type in the rectfill in here. Oops, I think I erased the ends. Type in again. So we can type in rectfill pipe 1 dot x comma 0 pipe 1 dot x plus 20 comma pipe 1 dot y plus 5 in the color of 3. And similarly for the other pipe, rectfill pipe 2 dot x, pipe 2 dot y, pipe 2 dot x plus 20, 127 and 3. So you can almost don't see it because it's really thin in the right. You can control the movement of the pipe in the update function. So the pipe is always decreasing its position of x minus 1, right? So you need to type in like this. Look, we're gonna do like this. If pipe 1 dot x equals 0, then this means the bird crossed the pipe. So we need to restart the pipe position. So pipe 1 dot x equals 127. We can play the sound effects of 1 and finish it. And do the same thing for the other pipe. X equals 0, then pipe 2 dot x equals 127, and then finished. We don't need to add the sound effect for this pipe number 2. And then we can keep always decreasing the pipe's x value by 1. So I type in pipe1.x minus equals 1 and pipe2.x minus equals 1. So now we got it. The pipes are moving. Pretty interesting, huh? I really do enjoy seeing it. So that's basically it. So now we're gonna need to control the pipes, right? So we're gonna start with a if conditional to see if the down arrow is being pressed or the up arrow is being pressed. That's how we control the pipe's position. So I type in if button, and we type in shift down, then pipe.y plus equals 2, so then it increments its value by 2, and pipe2.y equals pipe1.y plus 36. Then we put it in the end. So now we get the pipes moving down, but need to do the same for the pipe to go up. Try to pause the video and think about how this function would look like. So we need to type in if button, and then we press Shift U, then pipe1.y minus equals 2, and pipe2.y equals pipe1.y plus 36. And I didn't close the if function here. Let me check. And here I didn't close it. So then we have the pipes working. Pretty nice, huh? We can emulate the game like this, but it won't check for the collision. So need to create the function of collision, which is a AEBB function for collision. So it's a pretty common algorithm in Pico-8. So I type in like this: function hit, and as parameters we have letter E and letter B, and then we return the verification if a.x is lower than b.x plus b.width, and if we can put it in this position, a.x plus a.width is bigger than b.x, and a.y is lower than b.y plus b.h, and a.y plus a.h is bigger than b.y, and we end it in here. So this function basically verifies if any boundaries of the bird collides with any boundaries of the pipe, right? So you need to pass in the function update to verify if this is happening. So you need to do it like this. Let's create a variable called game over at the top of our code, game over, and name it to false, right? So we need to put, this is called the game state, right? The game is not over yet, but if it is over, the game finishes. So we put at the beginning of our function update like this: if game over, then return, and we type in end. So if ever the variable game over is true, the game will fall into this endless loop and will break the game, so we won't be able to play anymore. That's how Flappy Birds works, right? So we need to put in, let me check, in here, we need to put the function like this at the end of our updates: if hit birds with the pipe 1 or hit birds with pipe 2, then we can play the sound effects of 0, and we change the value of the variable game over to true. And the birds.y receives the position of 110. So that's it. If it collides, let me check. That's it. The game freezes, you can't move the pipes anymore, and the bird falls, right? So that's basically it. Let me see, I think now we just need to print the points at the top of the screen and to print the saying of game over if the game finishes. Let me just check if that's it. Oh, I forgot to print the clouds also. So you can come into the map and draw the clouds like this in here, and you can type in like this map 00001616. So if you run the game, you have the clouds on. That's really nice. That's how you run. So that's basically it. Now we're gonna create a variable called points in here, and points starts with a value of 0. And if the birds ever crosses a pipe in here, points are incremented by 1. And in the draw function, you can come in here and you can use the function print points and 64, 2, and 7. So this is basically the position and the color of white. So now we have the points printed there. Let me check. So for whenever the birds crosses the pipe, the points are increased by 1. So that's basically it. That's basically our I lost again. So that's basically our inverse Flappy Birds game in Pico-8. And you can add now the in here the if game over, then print game over at the position of 48, 64, and 7. And then we can end. So that's basically it. If the birds hits the pipe. I have no idea what just happens. Did you just see that the birds crossed the pipe? I have no idea what this happens. But that's basically it. Then you have the game over, and that's it. I'm gonna need to check that bug that just happened because I didn't notice it happening. I'm gonna check it later on why it's happening. But that's basically it. That's basically our game. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm getting more confidence appearing online. I've got a lot of appreciation in the Pico-8 community on the subreddits where I post my tutorial. And I hope that you have a lot of fun. I also teach about these games with a structure plan in the Flappy app, which you can see my profile into the link in the description. Thank you very much. It was great fun.